You should know by now the mercy's off the table. Think that you can try to spare me like I'm someone. When you didn't spare my brother, so get dunked on.
What's up guys, this is Do1Bit Universe, and I have just got through uploading the entirety of Chapter 1 of my story in DeviantArt. The link will be in the description below, and blah blah blah. This is also going to be a video for questions for Karada. Who is Karada? Well, if you read the story, you know who she is, but for those of you who have not read the story, but is just interested in her character, because I did bring her up in like certain episodes, videos on my channel, she is the emotionless with a personality character, Fox Wolf Girl that is in my story. She's emotionless, but she has a personality. So if you have her talking to you, she will move and act as though she has a personality, but her tone and face will just remain static and monotone and whatnot. So that's Karada, and also her powers include the fact that she can't feel pain, so she can use all 100% output of her strength and whatnot, blah blah blah, blah muscles and blah blah blah. So this is just me doing the update of anyone who is wanting to binge read the entirety of Chapter 1 is the best way to do this now, because all of it is in entirety is uploaded. Along with the fact that I got each and every folder of each and every sketchbook, which is like, some of them have 50 pages, some of them have 70, some of them have 60 or something like that, and just like that. It's all organized for you guys, and from beginning to end. For those of you who have already read so far up to it, which from my poll that I put on my DeviantArt is at least up to at least 8, but there are some people who did not, like, don't do polls and stuff like that, but so I'm suspecting there are other people. But for those of you who are watching this video and you have read the story, Chapter 2 is only one sketchbook done. Well, one sketchbook and a half done. I'm on my second sketchbook on Chapter 2. It would be a lot longer if it wasn't for the whole fact of me trying to post out all of Chapter 1. So, I'm mainly just trying to put this video up and saying, once I get to the point where I am like caught up to where I am and done posting up all I have on Chapter 2 so far, I will be sure, well, I can't really say that, I don't want to lie to you guys, I will do my best to at least get 20 pages out every week or within the week. Like, whenever I get enough pages done to declare it as a good update, you could say. So, it might be more than 20 pages, might be more than that. But it has to be a bare minimum of 20 pages, because I want you guys to get a little good read's worth, and it really depends on whether or not it's going to be like heavily action scene based, where you know you don't get any dialogue and it's just, ooh, pictures of explosions and whatnot, or something on the line. So when I get caught up to where we are right now, again, I can't say expect, just try to hope on the fact that I actually get like a number of pages done, and I'll get it out for you guys as soon as possible, because now this is like a prototype manga-esque thing for me now. Mangakas always have to try to get like, well, it all depends on which manga you're talking about, because some mangakas do it like monthly basis, some of them don't do it like until like 2 months basis. I'm doing shonen rules for like a weekly basis thing, for at least for me, and most shonen updates come up in 20 or so pages or more, mostly. And yeah, that's just how things for me are going to go down, because I've been trying to do the story for a long time, and now that I get more feedback and review from other people, not only can this affect the story a lot more than it already did when I did it with certain other people, I can also get like immediate feedback from what I'm already doing, since this is all still draft working on every single page. I'm just trying to get the entire story layout pretty much on the spot, so I don't have to think about it. I don't have to be like Kishimoto or any other long-term mangaka that didn't really plan out from the very beginning of their story. Kishimoto said outright that he didn't know how to beat Madara in his current place and stuff like that. As for me, the entire story is mapped out in key segments. Even though key segments aren't entirely planned out, certain scenarios are going to come up in random situation once I actually get to that actual page, depending on my mood and depending on what actions I will take and what foreshadowing events will lead up to that event and stuff like that. So yeah, as for my personal take on what all the feedback that I got from Chapter 1, I must tell you guys, and you know who you are, that this is not going to be the norm for other chapters. And when I say the norm for other chapters, I mean I introduced characters to you, and then rip them away from you. I don't intend to do that the entire way through. Expect it to happen, but don't expect it to happen for no reason other than the fact that I want you to get invested in this character just so one day that they'll be gone. No. Each and every like major death has a significance to the plot, if not a glaring thing to the plot. I can't start out names because I don't want people who haven't read it yet to be like, huh, did he say, okay, this character, something's gonna happen to it. You gotta know this, and I'm not gonna go Game of Thrones on you and say don't get too invested, because I heard that's like a meme for it or something like that. I could be wrong. Could be a completely different thing. Could be Walking Dead for all I don't really keep up with both those series, but they are good. But I did hear that one of the series out there is like there's a meme going around saying don't get too invested, because if you get too invested in this character, they're gonna just get push up daisies, and you're just gonna hate the fact that they're never coming back again. I cannot say much about the current scenarios that you guys have just witnessed at the final couple of sketchbooks of Chapter 1, but all I do have to say is there is a reason for it, and I think, and here's the thing, you can outright give my story a 1 if those deaths, you could say, are not justified to you later on in the story. If I reveal to you why that death was particularly important, you can literally just say this story is the worst thing ever. You killed off a character for no reason whatsoever other than to do this stupid thing that could have been done any other way. I would not have done these to these characters if it wasn't for the fact that they needed to happen to be in that scenario later on in the story. I cannot write it any other way. Trust me, for particular characters, and you know which one I'm talking about, there was nothing I wanted more than to try my best to try to rewrite some things, but I can't. In the long scheme of things, it needed to happen. And Icon is like a basic staple to remind you on the fact that that needs to happen. He is the story, because he's the flippin' narrator. I mean, come on, that's not much of a spoiler, because it's obvious to a sense for how the story is structured. So I think you would notice that the only thing that I'd say about the narrator part is it's like you would notice that the narrator is his own character at the very beginning of the prologue, and when he says Lucifer named this race Pochico, and then he said, then he realized that was retarded, and so he named him Biren. That's just it. You already get the grasp that the narrator has some sort of personality, so obviously it's someone that we probably will see. That's Icon. Icon is that. And from what I have seen, not many of you, and if you watch Gravity Falls, I am very disappointed in you, is just that there are a lot of things in my story that you have to pay attention to and really like get a grasp for. And if you don't, you won't really get certain things. Like how in Gravity Falls, if you don't understand the symbol things, how are you going to understand anything at the coming end of the series? Just because I don't have many backgrounds in my thing, doesn't mean the foreground characters or something like that doesn't have any significance. Mostly in the characters. And there's not much things in the background besides Icon in certain scenarios. But those are just like obvious little hints that he's there. And he already said he's like Bill already when he's always watching. So it's just like, you sort of need to expect that from that guy. But trust me, there are certain things that you would call plot holes at this point in the story that I'm surprised not many people even caught up on. And right now, I'm currently at a particular part in Chapter 2 that Icon is about to reveal something, and so far no one has even tried to suspect this glaring plot hole throughout the entire thing, which is baffling to me. Here's a hint on what it is. Judo is a thing, and that thing is a huge contradictory on what it can do to other things that aren't it. So if you understand that from my context without trying to put up a spoiler thing for those who don't know what I'm talking about, please, before the update comes out, I want you to try to figure it out. It's a glaring plot hole. It's one of the biggest contradictories in the entire story. And no one has even tried to be like, wait, if he's this, then shouldn't this happen? That sort of thing. And that's pretty much it. So right now, from overall, Chapter 1 got the right amount of feedback, or the right amount of emotions I wanted to tie with people, just on point with that. And I'm trying to also let you guys get used to people dying. Just like how Olive does at the end of the thing. After all the events occurred and all that stuff happened, Olive acts as though this is the norm. This is just like, okay, who cares? This happens. I'm trying to let you guys get used to death, because in my story, people already know heaven and hell exist. So if you think about it, death really is not that much of a consequence, especially if you know the character is going to heaven. You know what I mean? So for those of you who are upset about particular characters dying, just know probably something might be going on later on somewhere up there, you know? Not saying anything out loud when it comes to like the rest of the chapter 2, but you're just gonna let that out, alright? Try and let you guys get used to primary death. There is something worse than death in my story, and you guys already witnessed this witnessed it like 4 times right now. There's something worse than death. Those are the deaths you have to worry about. So that's just it. So anyway, do you want to build a universe? Please, if you have any questions for like Karada, and I should have put her picture like all the way throughout this video or something like that, somewhere in the corner or in front of my face. And I can't wait to show you all of Chapter 2, and I'm going to be doing my best to try to keep that updated, because when it comes to college right now, I am doing, like, fan-tucking-fastic. I mean, I'm actually pretty baffled how I'm keeping up with some of these subject matters, and not a single grade is bad. So, hey, since I'm doing good here, I might as well keep up with the fact of the story deal. So, yeah, this is Do You Want to Build a Universe again. I'll see you guys next time, and again, link in the description or somewhere in the video itself. You can go over to DeviantArt if you're interested in the story. You don't have to read all in one setting, trust me. I did that with Homestuck. It took me 5 days to get through all of it and understand everything that I needed to understand to answer some questions to my friends. For those of you Do You Want to Build a Brony fans who were on my previous channel would know about this. So don't be like that. Use moderation, use moderation, and read like read 20 pages, or if you want to go daring, read 1 sketchbook, and it would take you like 12 days if you go by sketchbook of Chapter 1, and this is only if you're interested in it, and I'll be doing more about it later on in the coming days or something like that, and hopefully it's still interesting to you guys, because this is the thing that I'm going to someday animate to make it like a big thing. So, yeah. See you guys next time. Bye.